Guys, welcome back to Group 5 Top Eliminator 2025 New Year's Nationals. We got the cars out, 15 in this one. First up is going to be Ronald Mullins in the right lane with this cool flamed out 4-gear. Going to be running up against the Jade Grenade Keith Atkinson out of Illinois. This is a 3-gear, and I believe he is running Top Fuel 3-gear as well. So these will be some test runs for him. This is seeding 1, Group 5.
Keith Atkinson goes 898 with a 3. Ronald Mullins goes 128.23.
If you guys haven't already, make sure that you are keeping track with your log sheet of times. We got the Jade Grenade, great pass. Ronald runs 128. So next up, we got the Vagabond Wendell Jones out of DC running in Top Eliminator. This is a 4-gear in the right lane against Saburo Watanabe 69 Camaro in the left lane. Looks like a Viper chassis. Here we go. This is seeding 2.
Seeding 1.
Seeding 1. Sorry about that. Seeding 1, Group 5. Oh, wow.
Sabu goes 115.06. Yobear goes 113.78.
All right, next up, we have the Tulsa Time Nomad, Kevin Deluccia out of South Carolina. Really cool Nomad. Viper chassis. Right lane. Sounds like the body might be dragging a little bit. Up against Gigi the Eclipse, Holden Richinson out of Florida, running a hopped up Magna traction. Actually, it's an X traction. It's an Auto World X traction. Let's see what they got.
Holden Richinson goes 161.52. Kevin Deluccia goes 957.6.
Next up, we got VR46. John Johnston out of Minnesota in the right lane. Looks like a Viper jet. Up against Red Hot Darryl Maw out of Utah. Like a Viper modified. Couple of track cars getting in on the drag racing action. Just a reminder, you don't need drag cars in order to get in on the action, guys.
Darryl Maw 660 with an 8. John Johnston 882.
So any cars will work, guys. Any cars, send them out, get some test runs. Next up, we got the fire truck, John Redfern out of Colorado. He is a Texan, though. Looks like that thing is a, oh my gosh, it just fell out of the body. Make sure the cars are loaded up, guys, because if they are falling out, there's not a lot we can do about it. Next up, we got NTB Pro Stock Stuart Barber out of Kansas. Looks like a 4-gear. Has some mega magnets in it. That car is going to be running Top Fuel 4-gear also.
Stuart Barber goes 6799, and John Redfern goes 638 with a 4.
Next up, Kevin Deluccia, Bel Air Witch Project in the right lane. This car is also running in Top Fuel Unlimited, so this car, if it runs faster than 400, it's going to be breaking out, but it could be a test pass. Up against the Mustard Missile, Keith Atkinson, the Viper Corvette in the left lane. So let's see how they run.
Keith goes 617.7. Kevin goes 401.1.
Wow, right, almost right on. Great pass. It's a little bit soft for Top Fuel, but that is right on the money for this class, so it did what it needed to do. Next up, we got the CBSC Corvette, Tom Mathey out of Florida in the right lane. Tyco 440X2, pretty slick looking car. Has a cool scoop on it. Running up against Eric Pete's Fusion Superstock in Top Eliminator. This looks like a Wizard Fusion, so the first Fusion that we've seen on the drag strip, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for Eric for getting that in. Shout out to the Alley Rats group on Facebook.
Eric goes 543.5. Tom goes 815 with a 3.
Next up is going to be the last car running in top eliminator. It's the HWP front engine dragster, but it is, I guess it is front engine, even though the driver's sitting in the front. Out of Kansas, a little confusing there. So this is a unique setup. Let's get her in here and make sure we are staged, okay? Who knows what this car is going to run, but it's pretty cool seeing custom builds like this. Here we go.
Stuart Barber, 572 with a 5.
Awesome run. So Sam, let's get a close-up on this. Let's show the fans what we're looking at here. So super cool custom car, looks 3D printed, big magnets in the back, big gear, big can motor, has a 124 style guide flag on it. So hopefully that's a little bit of inspiration for you guys. There's anything is possible. You can run it down the track as long as the guide flag fits and you are good to go. So we're gonna get those tires cleaned up and we'll be back for seating 2. All right guys, we are back for seating 2, group 5, top eliminator. So first up in the left lane, running a 128 last time, it's gonna be Ronald Mullins. He is gonna be running up against the Jade Grenade. Keith Atkinson ran an 898 last pass. He's going to be in the right lane this time. Both guys going to be looking to lower that index a little bit, but hopefully not enough to be into a lower index.
Ronald goes 125.64. Keith goes 870 with a 9.
All right, next up we got in the left lane, Wendell Jones Vagabond running a 113 last pass, and the track was still live. In the left lane, we got Wendell Jones. Make sure the track is not live. Going to be running up against the 69 Camaro, Saburo Watanabe out of Colorado, ran a 115. So pretty much a heads up race here. This is seeding though, so there still is potential they could speed that up and get into another index.
Wendell goes 116.07. Sabu goes 110.54.
All right, next up, we got the Tulsa Time Nomad, Kevin Deluccia in the left lane, ran a 957 last pass. He's going to be looking to speed that up a little bit. Car has a little bit of body rub, so just a note, Kevin, you might want to trim that guy. Up against Holden Richinson, Eclipse, going to be in the left or the right lane this time, running a 161. So he's going to be looking to pick up about a 10th here with that extraction.
Kevin Deluccia goes 917 with a 3, and Holden goes 172.46.
Next up, we got John Johnston with VR46 running in the left lane this time. Ran an 882 last pass. He's going to be looking to pick that up a little bit. Up against Red Hot out of Utah, Darryl Maw. Ran a 660 last time, so he also is going to be looking to pick up about half a 10th. Get down in that 6-1 range.
John Johnston, 853.0. Darryl Maw, 653.7.
Wow, so that is going to be a close first round, guys. Close first round. Great job. Let's move over to the right side of the ladder. Up first is going to be the fire truck. John Redfern out of Colorado, but he is a Texan. This car does not want to stay in this body, so need to make sure that those cars stay in there. It's going to be in the left lane this time. Up against the NTB Pro Stock, Stuart Barber out of Kansas City. Looks like a 4-gear. Pretty wicked. Those guys are going to both be looking to speed up a little bit. Let's see what we got.
John Redfern goes 599 with a 5. Stuart Barber goes 672.2.
Probably not exactly what they were looking for, but they are both going to have first round coming up. But let's get through seeding 2. Next up, we got Kevin Deluccia's Bel Air Witch Project. Going to be in the left lane this time. Ran a 401.1 last pass. So that thing was right at the bottom of our index, up against Keith Atkinson in the Mustard Missile. Ran a 617 last pass. So this is a quick pair, both running pretty low in their respective indexes.
Kevin goes 397.4, and Keith goes 619 with an 8.
Kevin is going to be looking to slow that thing down just a smidge. Next up, the CBSC Corvette, Tom Mathey out of Florida in the left lane this time. Ran an 8:15 last pass. Up against Fusion Superstock, Eric Pete out of South Carolina, running in the right lane this time. He ran a 5:43 last pass.
Tom goes 834.0. Eric Pete goes 553 with a 2.
All right, come down to our last car here. So last car is going to be the custom HWP dragster by Stuart Barber. It's going to be running in the left lane this time. Ran a 572 last pass. This is a full braided car, full custom. Make sure we get it staged. It is staged. He's going to be looking to pick up about 400s. Here we go.
Goes 684.
684, great run. Little motor is having a hard time making the torque that it takes to turn those big old tires, but great job, guys. So we're going to get these tires cleaned and we will be back for first round. All right, guys, we're back. Top Eliminator Group 5. We are talking round 1. So first up in the 1.2 index right lane, going to be Ronald Mullins with the flamed out 4-gear. Running up against the Jade Grenade, Keith Atkinson out of Illinois, running in the 800 index. So we're going to have a 4/10 head start. Who's it going to be? Both cars kind of running in the top of their index, so this could come down to anyone's race.
Ronald Mullins with the win, 126.54.
Make sure you guys are keeping track of your times on your log sheet. So next up, right lane, Vagabond, Wendell Jones, 1.1 index. Up against the 69 Camaro, also running in the 1.1 index by Saburo Watanabe. So this will be a heads up round. First to the finish line wins. Oh, Yober was out on him early, and then Sabu drove around him on the top end.
Yep, winner left lane, Sabu, 110.97.
That 4-gear gave him a run for his money, but he just didn't quite have enough to take out that Camaro. Next up, we got Kevin Delucca's Tulsa time in the 900 index, right lane. Pretty slick looking Nomad with an ultra low body, running up against the GG time Eclipse. Holden Richinson running in the slowest index, 1.5. So he is going to be looking to pick up. And Kevin is definitely going to not want to break out on this one. Let's see what happens.
Winner left lane,
Oh,
181, breakout in the right lane.
right lane breaks out. What did he run?
841.
841. It picked up big time. That is a heartbreak for him. So that car is out. Holden moves on. Next up, we got VR46, John Johnston running in the 800 index in the right lane. Running up against Darryl Maw's Red Hot car running in the 600 index in the left lane. So 2/10 head start for VR46. Who is going to take first round of Group 5? Oh,
Winner left lane, Darryl Maw, 652 with a 9.
wow, 652 beats a 864. Okay, so let's go over to the right side of our ladder. We got the fire truck running in the 500 index this time. See if the body can stay on it. Looks like it can. Get her staged up here. Up against the Pro Stock running in the 600 index. Both these cars running kind of in the top of their their index. So it is anyone's race.
Winner left lane, Stuart Barber, 672 with a 6.
72. Stuart Barber moves on. Tough break for John Redfern. Next up, we got the Bel Air Witch Project, Kevin Deluccia, right lane. This car ran in the threes, but it also ran a 401, so it will be running on the 400 dial-in up against Keith Atkinson, Mustard Missile, running on the 600 index. Should be a great race. Hopefully that car doesn't break out. If it breaks out, he's going to basically be giving the win away.
Ooh, 392.
Oh, and it did. It sped up.
Winner Keith Atkinson, 625-2.
Next up, our last pair in this group, the CBSC Corvette Tom Mathey out of Florida, right lane running in the 800 index, up against the Fusion Superstock Eric Peterson out of South Carolina, running in the 500 index. Can he run him down?
Yep, winner.
Oh, he drove around him on the top end.
546 with a 9.
All right, Eric's moving on. All right, next up, our buy run goes to Stuart Barber's Top Fuel dragster running in the right lane. This car ran in the 5s earlier, so that's its index. Slowed down that second pass, though. It did a little bit of sputtering off the start. So let's see if he can get it together.
Car goes 849. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 849. Really stuttered.
Yeah, it's slowing down even more. So he's definitely going to be needing more than that for the next round. So that concludes first round of Group 5, guys. So we got our second round cars up here. We're going to get the tires clean. All right, guys, second round of Group 5 Top Eliminator. We got up first Ronald Mullins in the right lane, 1.2 index. Going to be running up against the 69 Camaro, Saburo Watanabe out of Colorado, running in the 1.1 index. So we're going to have a 1/10 of a second head start for that 4-gear. Let's see who gets to the stripe first.
Breakout left
breakout.
lane. Yep. Ronald Mullins with the win, 129.09.
Big breakout. Bummer. Sabu's going home. All right, next up, we got the Holden Richinson in the right lane on the 1.5 index with the Eclipse. Running up against Darryl Maw's Red Hot, running in the 600 index out of Utah. Let's see who's going to get this one. This is a pretty good split right here. It's going to have a huge head start.
Oh, breakout.
Wow.
Right lane.
Right lane breaks out.
Left lane winner runs a 653.2.
All right, Darryl Maw moving on to next round. So great job, Darryl. Tough breakout for Holden. That Mitsubishi came on boost and was out of there. Next up, we got Stuart Barber, 600 index in the right lane this time. Get that car staged, going up against the Mustard Missile, Keith Atkinson out of South Carolina, running in the 600 index. Looks like a heads up round here, so first one to the stripe is going to take the win.
Winner Keith Atkinson goes 621.
Wow, great run. It looked like Stuart's car ran its best pass on that last run too, so great job, but it just wasn't quite enough. That car will be back later for Top Fuel 4-gear. So next up, we got Eric Pete's Fusion Superstock in the right lane, running 500 index. Going to be running up against Stuart Barber, his dragster running in the 500 index. So there is potential that Stuart could be racing himself next round. But that dragster is going to need to pick up a little bit to take out Eric Pete's Fusion.
Winner right lane goes 546 with a 9.
All right, Eric, moving on. So final 4 semifinals of this group right here. Eric Pete, Keith Atkinson, Ronald Mullins, and Darryl Maw. We will get those tires clean, get everything turned around, and we'll be back to you in a minute. Hey guys, we are back for our semifinals for Group 5 Top Eliminator. First up in the right lane, Ronald Mullins running the 1-2 index. Going to be running up against Darryl Maw's red hot car running in the 600 index. This is going to be a great race. Big head start, half track head start for that 4-gear.
Darryl Maw wins 661 with a 2.
All right, great job, Darryl. Going to the final round. Next up, we got Keith Atkinson in the 600 index running up against Eric Pete in the 500 index. Eric Pete's going to be in the left lane. Keith Atkinson's going to be in that right lane, so a little bit of a stagger start here. That fusion is going rounds.
Winner right lane goes 619 with a 5.
619, that's a tough one to beat. Looks like Eric ran their best pass too that last time around, 541. So we got our final round set up, guys. We got red hot Darryl Maw. It's going to be a heads up final 600 index up against Keith Atkinson. So we'll get those cars prepped and turned around and we'll be back. All right, guys, we are back. Final round time for Group 5 Top Eliminator. We got Darryl Maw's red hot running 600 index up against Keith Atkinson running in the 600 index. So we will be running these cars heads up. We were just talking, there's been quite a bit of heads up racing going on today, so pretty slick. We got Keith Atkinson in the left lane up against Darryl Maw in the right lane. Cars are staged. This is your final round. Heads up. First one to the stripe wins it. Oh, I think he got driven around. He was out early. Darryl was out early on him and then got driven around on the top end.
Yep, left lane Keith goes 621.7.
Congratulations, Keith. Great job. Both of you guys will win prizes, so great job. We will get back over to the prize table, get a view of those cars. So remember, guys, you could send us any cars. It doesn't matter if it's a Tyco, a Viper, a T-Jet, anything you want to send us. Put it in the mail, get it in there for that next race. So let's get over to the prize table. All right, guys, we are at the prize table for Group 5. Group 5 Top Eliminator. We got our winner, Keith Atkinson here, and our runner-up, Darryl Maw. So we're going to draw Keith's prize first. Let's see what he gets. $25 gift card. So $25 Viper gift card for our winner. That is a great win. So next up is going to be Darryl Maw. Darryl was our runner-up. Let's see what Darryl gets. Lucky Bob's $10 gift card, so great job on that. I want to thank Lucky Bob for sponsoring this. We appreciate it. We will jump back over to our winner who gets 2 draws out of the prize bin. Right now, we got the setup block. So 753 is the setup block donated by HC Slots. So great job. That is a killer haul. Probably $70 worth of winnings right there. So great job on a $5 entry. So real quick, wanted to thank our sponsors of this race, prize sponsors, HC Slots, Super Tires, Difalco Controllers, AFX, Viper Scale Racing, Lucky Bob, Harry Canary Bodies, Jag Hobbies, and Radical Bodies. So if you know someone that wants to sponsor and get in on this, feel free to let them know. Also, shout out to Mike Merrick for donating the cars. Nobody's won them yet, but they are here and are up for grabs. So we'll see you in the next video for Group 6.